Oh, sure. Hey guys, that's very generous of you. Thank you. I'll make this, put this in the push cup. Hey guys,
That one they call these out, go over the half out at the, by the Snow Shack.
yeah, we'll have to get to that. I got distracted with the fundraiser.
Um,
Who's watching us? Who's online? Where are you watching from? Shalom, everyone. Rabbi Raps. I was actually online before because I was sitting making calls the whole day for our fundraiser, which by the way, we're already like 53, 54%. Pretty good. And I just decided to turn on my Instagram live and just let people watch me make phone calls. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, and one lady, and it was actually very interesting. One lady, like, I called her and she said, Rabbi, you didn't visit me this summer. And it's true. I like actually tried. It didn't work out. She says, Rabbi, you can't just like not visit me this summer and then call me for money. I was like, I'm really sorry. Can I make it up for you? Too serious. So no, I'm good. Thank you. Oh, I'll take a little. Um, so I was like, I'm flying high, thank you, on my high horse, like, oh, we're doing so good. And then somebody tells me this, and then it like sucked the air out of everything, But it was good. It's good to humble you, and then you get right back into it. So we're thank you. I appreciate it. And look, any amount is a big help. I'm looking online, see all my followers joining us. You guys, we're going to talk about the Parsha today, but I do want to say that we have this fundraiser that we do once a year that supports the work in the community. And if you are interested, and if you're on Instagram, just type the word Rabbi Raps in the comment, one word, and I'll send you a link with more information about how you could help. By the way, the camera's facing the other way of the room. Thought we'd shake things up a little bit here. What do you say? Okay, let's jump online here. Um, Here we go. Um, I'm going to go onto Zoom, and we're going to go onto TikTok as well. Very important. We want to reach all the people on all the platforms. Got to study the Torah. So someone's from Brooklyn, New York. Someone's from Borough Park, NYC. Where are my people watching from? What city? What country? What universe? Let us know. Yeah, like where are you watching from? Yeah, Mike's like, I want to know if you're from another universe. Sign me up. I'm coming. He's, yeah, he's like, I'm done with this universe, right? Okay. All right. And we're gonna go live here. Ah, there we go. And we're good. All right. Hello, Rabbi. We're watching from Kentucky. I love that. People from Kentucky are watching us. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Whoa. So who's hey guys, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. It's a busy day. It's been a busy day. I was in touch with a couple hundred people today. Um, all right, guys, welcome aboard Rabbi Raps. Today we're going to learn a little bit about the Parsha. Saying hello to my friends on TikTok who are logging in. We're going to talk a little bit about the Torah portion of the week. Of course, the number one question that pops up on my screen is how do I convert to Judaism? Well, we're not taking a lot of questions right now, but let's get right into it. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to all those that have donated to our matching campaign. Oh, Mike, your parents jumped on board. Tell them thank you from me. Yeah, that was very nice. Basically, once a year, we do a fundraising matchathon where every dollar is matched. If you are interested, you could message me and I'll send you um, a, a link that you could donate. If you're on YouTube, what is it? If you're on Instagram, just type the word Rabbi Raps in the comment and I'll send it. You'll get a link. So, hello, Roz. Hello, Linda. Hello, Chaya. Hello, Kara. Hello, Mindy. Hello, Israel. Hello, I think that's Jan. Hello, Simon. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Um, of course. How can I miss? How can I miss? You can't stop Torah study just because you're doing a fundraiser. You can't stop Torah study. You know what I mean? Take a little break, and this will invigorate the rest of the campaign. Um, Okay, so we had an interesting conversation when we started. Barry was telling me that he met a young man who became like a messianic. They call it a messianic Jew, right? Messianic Judaism doesn't exist. It's not real. Because well, we believe in Messiah, but not in Jesus. And to my Christian followers out there, respect to you if that inspires you. That's one thing, but I don't. I think it's disrespectful to Christianity and Judaism to try to mix everything together and make a big cholent out of it because it just doesn't go. It's not compatible. Like a Jewish person believing in Jesus makes as much sense as a vegan. You know, vegans for KFC. Just it's just a contradiction. It's just like Judaism does not believe that a person could be God and the Son of God and all that, and Trinity. It's just like fundamentally off. So, you were asking me, Barry was asking me, like, what do you do? I don't think you argue with a person like that. No, you didn't. But I just don't think you have to argue. What is interesting is such a person might find it fascinating to hear what Judaism has to say about the Torah. And the reason is because no one ever goes to Messianic Judaism. No one without with a basic Jewish education. I've never met someone who had a basic Jewish education that studied like Judaism. So as a result, I think like that person should be very interested in hearing like about the old, the five books of Moses and what we say. And I would say engage and share that. When they bring up Jesus, you'd be like, look, it's just not something, we believe in, I can't comment on it. People want me to tell them what I think about Jesus. I can't really comment on it. I don't believe in it. I'm not in a disrespectful way, not in an arguing way. Just like talk to me about Pinocchio and talk to me about I don't know, the Tooth Fairy. It's just we believe he existed, but he wasn't a prophet according to our belief system. Just wasn't. There's nothing to talk about. You know. Anyway, so let's get Joe Oive. All right, let's get into it. So what I'd like to do is do a little overview of this week's Torah portion. Can't someone be Jewish in ethnicity and Christian? So the way we look at it from a Jewish point of view is once a person is Jewish, they're always Jewish. They could convert. We will always see them as Jewish. Who's that? Yisrael, can you mute the microphone? Is that possible? Thanks. So can someone be ethnically Jewish and Christian? No, the way we see it is once you're Jewish, you're always Jewish. And that's it. That's all. Someone just wrote, Rabbi, I love you. Thank you. I could use a little love. I get a lot of hate. So I'll take a little love. Why not? All right. Here we go. Here's a story that we're talking about. It's called Vayishlach. Last week we read, 2 weeks ago, we read that Jacob was running from Esau, his brother, who wanted to kill him. Last week we read about how he went to his uncle Laban's house and he, what does he do? He marries Rachel and Leah, the two sisters. And then with Bilhah and Zilpah, he has all these children. He works for Laban. He has 12 tribes. And they have a daughter by the name of Dinah. Very good. Very good, Dina. Okay. So now he's finally leaving after amassing a very successful business, a very big family. He's now going home and he's going towards Israel. And he gets word that his brother, who FYI wanted to kill him many years earlier, is now marching towards him with an army of 400 men. And the commentaries in Judaism say it wasn't 400 men, but it was 400 generals, each with an army of 400 men. Quickly do the math. How many soldiers are marching against him? It's 160,000? Something like that. 16,000? What's 400 times 400? I don't know. All right, doesn't make a difference. I mean, it does. Someone will answer us. Um, okay. I appreciate your answer. Okay. So Jacob is afraid, and he prepares in three ways. Number one, he prepares many gifts for his brother. 160,000. You were right. That was good. He prepares a lot of gifts for his brother. And number two is he prepares himself for battle. And number three, he prays to God. And the way Yaakov prepares for facing his brother is sort of a message to us how we should deal with challenges in our own life. Some people only pray. That's not enough. Some people only fight. That's not enough. Some people only negotiate. That's not enough. You have to be ready to do what you have to do in order to protect your family. That night, Jacob ferries his family and possessions across the Yabok River. He, however, remains behind and encounters an angel that embodies the spirit of Esau, with whom he wrestles until daybreak. Jacob suffers a dislocated hip, but vanquishes the supernal creature, who bestows upon him a new name. No longer is his name Yaakov, but his name is Yisrael, which means to struggle and overpower the divine. Jacob and Esau meet the next day. Lo and behold, instead of fighting with each other, they embrace each other and they make peace. Jacob purchases a plot of land near Shechem, whose crown prince, also called Shechem, abducts and rapes Jacob's daughter Dinah. Dinah's brothers, Shimon and Levi, avenge the deed by killing all the male inhabitants of the city, after rendering them all vulnerable by convincing them to circumcise themselves. Basically, Shechem realized he messed up big time. And so he now comes and says, let's make peace. Shimon and Levi says, sure, let's make peace. Why don't you circumcise yourself and your people and you'll be part of us? They do that. They're all out of commission. He goes in, they go in and destroy the city, which is the punishment for, for people that a society that allows such things to happen. However, their father Yaakov is not very happy about that decision to go just wipe everyone out. Jacob journeys on. Rachel then dies. So don't forget, Rachel is Yaakov's like love. It's the one he wants to marry, right? And all of a sudden, um, she dies in childbirth with Binyamin, and she's buried where? Not in Hebron, in the Marat Machpelah, where the patriarchs and matriarchs are buried. She's buried on the side of the road on the way to Bethlehem. Has anyone here ever been to the burial place of Rachel on the way to Bethlehem? Some of you are raising your hand. Okay, very spiritual place. Mindy, that's right. You went to the Israel trip. By the way, if you guys want to go to Israel, and once a year I take a trip to Israel every March. So reach out to me. We could go there. We could pray. You have to go to Bulletproof Bus these days. That's reality, unfortunately. But you can go if you want to go. A very, very holy place. And the sages say that, Mama Rachel is known as the matriarch that cries and prays on behalf of all the Jewish people. She was buried on the roadside when the temple was destroyed and the Jewish people were led away in chains. They passed by the burial place of Rachel, Rachel, And those slaves threw them, Jewish slaves, now threw themselves on the burial plot and prayed to Rachel, who then prayed God to give them strength. And hey, here's the rest of the story. We're here. We are going on, thanks to the blessings of Mama Rachel. Someone just wrote the lyrics for the song. Mama Rachel, cry for us again. I'm not going to try to sing. Okay. Shed a tear for your dear children. That's right. That's the lyrics. Wow, I didn't hear that before. Oh, all that is just basic in the Torah. That's just basic stuff. Lovely voice. Thank you. All right. Who else? Big fan, Rabbi. Awesome. Thanks for being a fan. Okay. What else we got? It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. It'll be fine. All right. We had a little accident. The name of this class is called Whiskey, Wings, and Wisdom. And someone just dropped some of the wings. It's okay. You got the okay. The fries. We dropped the fries, guys. All right. The parsha concludes with the detailed account of Esav's wives, children and grandchildren, and the family histories of the people of Seir, whom Esav settled in. By the way, Esav, Yaakov's brother, ultimately becomes the the grandfather of the Roman Empire. And that's who they were. Okay. So we read an interesting detail of the story. So here you have Yaakov. He's afraid for his life. Jacob is afraid for his life. Esav is marching towards him with this massive army. And he prepares himself the way we spoke. And then one of the things he does is he takes his daughter Dinah, who's this pure, beautiful Jewish girl, and he hides her in a box. That's what the commentaries tell us. Why does he hide her in a box? Does this story sound familiar? Abraham did it with his wife Sarah. Isaac did it with his wife Rebecca. Whenever they were around immoral people who would take advantage and be disrespectful and inappropriate with their women, they hid their women away. In the story of Abraham, Pharaoh and all his people, after they found Sarah and they tried to get close to her, there was a plague, and they realized, we better not mess with this woman. Same thing as with Isaac and Rebecca. But here we see that Yaakov hides Dinah in a box. Why? He doesn't want Esav to end up marrying Dinah. And I'm going to share with you a strange medrash that says as follows. Why did Yaakov? Why was Yaakov punished later that his daughter Dinah was taken captive by Shechem? Because he hid his daughter away from Esau. Had he given the daughter to Esau, perhaps she would have changed Esau and made him into a holy man. Better that she was with Esau than she would end up being with Shechem. This is the Medrash Rabbah, and Rashi says it's commentary. I'm dropping it out here. I want to get your opinion. What do you think? You like that? Uncomfortable with that? L'chaim, by the way. Story. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But Yaakov's punished from hiding Dinah from Esav. I don't know. If Esav was anywhere near my daughter, she would be hiding. Let me just say, I would hide all my kids. Wasn't there that funny video that was like, hide your wife, hide your kids? There was like a funny thing on television like 20 years ago. That's what I'd be saying. Hide everyone from Esau. He was an idolater. He was a rapist. He was a murderer. We read all this stuff about Esau. All of a sudden, you want your daughter around them, but then the measure says that God punishes Jacob from hiding Dinah from Esau. Yeah, yeah. Maybe Dinah could have, he, I don't know, inspired Esau. I don't know. Okay, that's what. Well, apparently not. Anyway, what do the Zoom people say? What's your? So Dinah. So what's interesting is Dinah has a daughter who sort of disappears from this relationship. And later on, we read that Yosef marries Asnas bat Potiphera, which is, it translates as Asnas, the daughter of Potiphera, the his boss, who was wanted to be inappropriate with him, and that's why he ran away. He ended up in jail. Who was Asnas? She wasn't a daughter. She was actually a maidservant. She was his cousin. And Dinah's daughter. And she ends up living in Egypt because she grows up in shame. She's like a product of a rape in this family. And whatever happened, somehow she was like, never felt comfortable in the family. And this is according to one Medrash. And she becomes the maidservant at this Potiphar's house. Eventually, Yosef marries her, and she's ultimately Yosef's cousin. And so that's what happens to Dinah's daughter. Okay. And then we have a very mysterious story. Someone just wrote, "Hey brother, Isaiah 9:6." You know what my response to that is? Hey brother, Genesis 32:4. That's what we're reading right now. So anyway, mic drop. I guess redemption happened through Joseph. Yeah, in some way, it's like all one big circle. That's right. Shalom. Then we have a very mysterious story that takes place. Jacob is preparing the night to before meeting Esau, his brother, after all these years. He wants to kill him. And it says he remains alone on the other side of the river. Now, what was he doing on the other side of the river? What's going on? And during this time he's alone, he encounters a stranger, and the Medrash, the commentaries say it is the angel of Esav, and he wrestles all night with Esav's angel. And surprise, surprise, he overpowers Esav's angel. Esav's angel says, "Let me go." And he says, "I will not let you go until you bless me." During the struggle, he gets a zetz, a klap. He's struck in the thigh, and he's limps after that. He's a limper. And we have the strange law as a result that Jewish people are not allowed to eat the sciatic nerve of an animal because of this. And at the end, he says to the angel, "I'll only let you go if you bless me." And it's a very strange story. And he blesses him. He says, "No longer is your name Yaakov," which means heel. It means to hold on to the heel of Esav. When he was born, he was holding on to his brother's heel. It says, "From now on, your name is Yisrael." And from there, the Jewish people are referred to as Yisrael. Am Yisrael Chai. Was the angel Samil? No, the angel was Esau's angel. Shalom, love your broadcast. I'm a Jew in St. Louis. Hello, Jew in St. Louis. Nice to meet you. Tim? All right, so this is a very cryptic story. Why is Jacob alone on the other side of the river? Why did he go? Oh, oh, somebody was paying attention in Hebrew school. Very good. Very good. So, according to the Medrash, he was moving his family and he was preparing and he left some pachim ketanim, which means small vessels. Were they pots? Were they ladles? Was it cutlery? I don't know. But small vessels were left on the other side of the river and he ran back to get his stuff. And the commentaries say that tzaddikim, righteous people, are very careful about their stuff. And the question is why? Who cares about stuff? You should think, or you would think, a righteous person doesn't care about stuff. He cares about ideas, cares about spirituality, cares about God. Well, what's this thing about stuff? And for this, my friends, let's do a little deep dive into Kabbalah, into the concept of something called bashert. Now, when I say bashert, some of you that are semi-knowledgeable will say bashert means destined. It means your other half. It means who you're supposed to marry. And the answer is yes, that is bashert. Your wife, your husband, your spouse is destined to you before you're born. If it's meant to be, that's your other half, the other half of your soul. It means bashert, meant to be, destined. However, there's the concept of bashert goes a lot deeper. And what it means actually is that everything you're going to own in your life, your house, your car, your wristwatch, the shoelaces you wear, everything that you own is also destined to you, to your soul particularly. You went to the store and you bought yourself a new bicycle. And first you looked at the red one, and then you looked at the green one, and then you said, you know what, I think I like the red one, and you bought that red one that was missing a screw, but you tightened it and got a discount on it, okay? Kabbalah says that that bicycle was bashert to you. It was destined to you. Why? Because every physical object in the world has sparks of holiness trapped inside of it. And when we acquire things and then use them to make the world a better, more godly, more loving place, we free the sparks of the divine from within those physical objects. Your bicycle, your shoelace, your house, your car. And you have the things you have because they are destined to you. And since the beginning of time, since the beginning of the universe, those objects were waiting for you to encounter them, to own them, and use them for goodness, and release and free those sparks. And that is the process of bringing the Mashiach. Wow. So everything you have is destined to you. Now you could totally mess it up. You could use the things you have selfishly. You could live selfishly. I could live a destructive, self-centered life, and all those things that were waiting for my soul to encounter them remain trapped. But if I live in sync with the Torah, if I live in sync with the purpose of the universe, every seemingly mundane act becomes a spiritual mission. I took my car and I gave someone a ride to the doctor. We have some mensches in our community that do things like that. That car has been elevated. You walk down the street and see a poor fellow and you give him $10 for a sandwich. Your paycheck has just been elevated. It's time for you to sell your car after 6 years because you think you just want a new one, but you have no idea that the universe has aligned and has communicated to your soul that you have finished your purpose with this particular car. And now it's going to go to someone else who could elevate the remaining sparks that were destined to their soul. And now you get a new car. In essence, you get a new mission. So the tzaddikim, the righteous individuals, are people that know what is their destiny and what they're supposed to be elevating. The righteous people don't just leave stuff on the other side of the river. They run back because they understand that they didn't finish elevating those sparks. Now, you and I may not run back because it might be too dark and too dangerous, and we don't really know what exactly is our soul's destiny. We do the best we can. We're not going to go run back, across the river to get them. But a tzaddik, a righteous individual like Yaakov, knows these things, and the Kabbalah says he goes back across the river to get them because he knows that he cannot move on until his soul finishes its mission with those particular objects. That's some pretty trippy stuff, if you ask me. Can we get a little feedback online? Is anyone listening? Is anyone understanding? Does this guy read the chat? Boom, look at that. I just read the chat. I probably missed a lot. Sorry, guys. All right. Never forget that these people were worshiping Satan before. Oh, you don't be rude. Okay. Sometimes he does read the chat. That's true. Sometimes he does. Oh, I remember your lesson about Kabbalah sparks, Rabbi. In fact, I inspired my submission for a Hanukkah story writing contest. William, wow. I'm so glad that your my I don't know, probably a year ago, my class inspired you. Okay. All right. All right. But the story is very strange. Yaakov is wrestling with Esav's angel. First of all, it says he remained alone and he wrestled with a stranger. Well, what's going on? Was he alone or was he wrestling a stranger? What was he doing? So I think the answer is that he was wrestling with the Esav inside of him. He was wrestling with since he was born, he was always trying to be Esav. And he had to figure out, who am I? Who am I? Anyway, here's another question. Our great-great-grandfather had a fight with an angel and he got hit in the leg and he limped. And because of that, we can't eat filet mignon as Jews. Why can't Jews eat filet mignon? It's the hindquarter of the animal and it has the sciatic nerve. And the story is Jacob was wrestling with an angel and he got struck in the leg. And ever since then, we're not allowed to eat filet mignon. That's not fair. There's got to be an explanation for this. So the sages say the story has a very powerful message. Jacob, all his life, was struggling with his identity. Yaakov means heel. He was born holding on to his brother's heel. Akev, Yaakov, heel. Later on, he dresses up like his brother. Later on, he tries to take his brother's blessing. And this identity crisis that he had, not only did it make him feel uncomfortable, but it made his brother Esav uncomfortable. Stop trying to be me, just be you. And then it comes to the point where they're wrestling. And the angel of Esav says, I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to strike you in the heel. You know why? I mean, I'm going to strike you in the thigh. You know why? You can't run away this time. Enough is enough. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to work this out. You're going to figure out who you are, and I'm going to figure out who I am. No more running away from your problems. You had a problem with Laban, you also ran away. Today we stop running. Today we face the darkness, we wrestle it, and Yisrael we overcome. And so I agree, it's a little unfair that we can't have filet mignon. However, at least when next time you are in the mood of a shtick hindquarter, think about the message of this story. Am I running away from anything, any responsibilities in my life? Don't be like Yaakov was before his name was changed. By the way, the Sephardic Jews do eat filet mignon. There's some of them that have the tradition of knowing how to remove the sciatic nerve. The Ashkenazic Jews generally don't, as we say in Yiddish, pachki with this. They don't mess with this. And we basically cut off the back of the animal and we give it to the treif department. But yes, sorry, Chaya, so sorry. Yeah, but you married a good one. You married a good one, so it's a good trade-off. You know. Someone says you are Ashkenazi. What do I look, Sephardi? I love brisket. Me too. Um, Sephardic get to eat chametz on Pesach too. No, not chametz. You mean legumes. How do we say it? Kitniot, legumes, yeah. Like beans. You have gefilte fish. Do you eat turkey? Yeah, we do eat turkey. Some Jews don't eat turkey, by the way. They're unsure if it's kosher because it might be one of those birds that the Torah said. You know, it's like a newly discovered bird. You know, there's some Jews that don't eat turkey. We eat turkey, but there are some who don't. I eat turkey. Alan makes the best turkey. If he came to our shul last Friday night, oh, was there a turkey? It was gobbling. We were davening, and it was gobbling, and we were gobbling the turkey. It was wonderful. Anyway, by the way, those that are on the live, if you're enjoying any of this study, you should definitely think about following my accounts, Rabbi Raps, because then you will see 1 to 3 videos every day, and we can learn more together. All right. Yes. So that's the story of that. Someone just put a gift on my head. Thank you. I mean, there was another thought that I think I shared with you just 2 weeks ago, but it's worth repeating because this is the parsha it happened in. And that is that we read that he's wrestling with this angel of Esau, and he says, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. It's a very strange story. Why would you ask someone who you're fighting with to bless you? Especially the angel of Esau. Why would you ask him to bless you? Just doesn't seem like the kind of fellow you want blessings from, right? And the lesson is a very powerful lesson. Yaakov was saying, my whole life I was struggling with Esau, and now tomorrow we're about to make peace. He says, I can't let you go until I understand where's the blessing in all this darkness. I ran from my life. I had to leave my family. I was afraid. This was very hard. And if everything God does somehow is for the good, where's the blessing in this story? He grabs Esau's angel and says, I'm not letting you go. The night doesn't end until you bless me, until somehow I could find the, what's it called? The silver ray? No. You know, the rain cloud has a silver lining. Thank you. A silver line. That's what I was looking for. Until I could find the silver lining, I'm not letting you go. And finally, he says, Yisrael. You struggle and you overpower, and you're a new person. Your struggle made you stronger. So he says, I'm not letting you go. God forbid some of us in our own lives have darkness that we have to face. And one of the most common questions I get as a rabbi is, Rabbi, why does God allow this to happen to me or my loved one? And I don't want to sound like I'm trying to get away with anything, but really we don't know the answers to these questions. We just don't. We don't understand God's ways. It's a mystery. The darkness and the suffering in this world remains a mystery. But one thing, as Jewish people, we do believe, and that is that somehow, even the darkness has a blessing in it, has a purpose in it. We don't even have to understand it. The hope is to believe it. And so Yaakov says to the Esav's angel, bless me. So let us look at the darkness in our life and say, we don't understand it, but somehow, we hope that, we believe that it has a blessing for us. And we don't necessarily even know what that blessing is. Okay. And I think that now here I'll leave you with one last thought, and that is, it seems that of all the patriarchs, the only one who has two names is Jacob in Israel. Think about it. Avram is never Avram again, he's Avraham. And Sarai is never Sarai again, she's Sarah. And yet, Jacob and Israel is interchangeable when God refers to the Jewish people. Sometimes we're referred to as Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel. And sometimes we're referred to as Beis Yaakov, the house of Jacob. So who are we exactly? So the Hasidic masters point out that whenever the word Jacob is used, it refers to us as God's servants. Whenever Yisrael is used, it's referred to us as God's children. B'nai, the children of Israel, which is an interesting concept. You have to open up your heart for this, my friends, because it's a deep idea. We are sometimes like servants to God, and sometimes we're like children to God. They're both important. They're both ways to connect. A servant does what they're supposed to do because it's out of awe, maybe even fear. And a child should be doing what he does or she does out of love, out of yearning, out of connection. My dear parent, I just want to make my parent happy. I love my parents so much. So what's better? What's better? Well, you would think to be a child, to have a relationship with God as a child is a higher level. It's love. But then again, think about the servant. The servant's obedient or following God's way is maybe more selfless because the servant doesn't get that pleasure and that joy that a relationship gives. It's more of like a duty and a responsibility. So let's say one day I wake up and I'm in love with God and I'm inspired and I do the right thing and I feel good, but the next day I wake up and I'm not really in the mood of doing what God wants me to do, but I do it anyway, like a servant. Perhaps that's a higher level, even though there isn't so much as enjoyable, but that's a higher level of connection, perhaps. So they both have qualities and and characteristics that are the opposite. Our Jewishness can be the Jewishness of a servant, or it could be the Jewishness of a child. And this is why the Torah continues to call him and us both names, Yisrael and Yaakov. Firstly, that God continues to value our Jacob-like relationship with him, even if we're not in the mood. When we do the right thing, there's something special about that. We stood up to the plate. And secondly, the opportunity is always there to access our inner Israel and experience the joy and fulfillment that comes from rejoicing in who we are in our relationship like a father and son to God. So that's why Jacob is the only one that has both names forever and ever, because both are authentic paths to God. And that's it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to go back to our fundraising project. For those who donated, thank you so much. If you're on TikTok, go to my profile, look at the link under the profile. We only have 36 hours to reach our goal. Everything is doubled. And if you could help, you could keep my videos going across the internet and the community programs that we do going. If you are on Instagram, you could just type my name, Rabbi Raps, right now in the comment, and my little rabbi bot will send you a message. Rabbi, are you okay? You seem kind of down today. Are you doing well? I hope I am. Maybe I'm tired. That happens. But I'm thank God. Baruch Hashem. Is PayPal an option? Yeah. RabbiRaps@gmail.com, I think is my PayPal for the shul. I believe so. Try that. RabbiRaps@gmail.com. All right. He may be under the weather. Sounds like a long day with the fundraiser. Oh, wow. All right, guys.